Now I'll be removing the chape and the middle ring, so that way I can clean these just like the drag right here. I'll be cleaning in the same fashion, so I'll go ahead and remove these sections. They just go ahead and slide off nice and easy. Careful not to scrape them. This one does as well. They won't always come off. You can see this one was glued in the past. I don't know if that's original glue or if there's some new glue on there, but mine do slide off pretty easily. Yours might not, not sure, but yeah, now we're left with the just the naked scabbard. So this also makes everything nice and easy to restore, because now we have the chape throat section, and then we have the middle loop right here. So now we can clean these as well so that they can match the chape. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. All right, so here we go. We have our bowl with baking soda, and I'll go ahead and drop in these. Actually, I'm gonna go and pour the water in first. Yep, and then there's one up. All right, so here is the final chape, mid-ring, and drag of the scabbard. I think they look fantastic. They look almost brand new. Yeah, this really nice looking silver mounts. It's really cool. I was able to bring the shine back to these, so those will happily go back on the scabbard. Next up will be the actual sword hilt itself, and I'll be trying out the same process, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'm gonna get to that right now. All right, so here we have our scabbard, and here's the parts that fell off. What I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to be gluing the parts that fell off, and seeing what I can do about this gap right here. I know when I put the drag back on that it's going to kind of close, but it has cracked like a large portion of the way, and there's also this big crack right here, this opening. So I might try to see if I can close that up with some super glue, just so it doesn't like crack further, because it will kind of expand out over the years, and what I don't want to happen is it cracks fully and then this entire scabbard just cracks. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get started, see what I can do with this. All right, so there we have it. I will let this dry, and I will put this over it once that is dry. But yeah, this is what we're working with. So yeah. All right, so momentarily what I'm going to do is I'm going to submerge this in the hot water. But I have to get the water first, so yeah, hopefully this goes like the rest of it did. So, all right, we are back. So now we're just going to go ahead and submerge it. So this works. So it's lit. I'm going to more. No. I will give my hands. All right, so we are back, and this is what you'll get after about an hour of doing that process. It looks really good. I like it a lot. I might run it over with some more of that silver polish that I have, just so that it's, because it's like, it looks kind of faded up here just a little bit, looks kind of foggy. So yeah, I'm gonna hit it some more with some of that silver stuff when I have time. But next step is the scabbard. So what we're going to do here, and I won't make you sit through it, but basically I've already tested it out on points that wouldn't be seen. So this is underneath what's going to be the shape right here. So I did this, and I also did the bottom section where it would not be seen. And basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be covering the scabbard with varnish. This gloss varnish right here from Winsor & Newton. I picked this one out because I've actually discovered that it's removable with mineral spirits. So if it ever needs to come off, it can come off semi-easily. But basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to clear coat this so that this doesn't get damaged in the future, because what's happening with it is you can tell all these areas, these are all flaked off areas of this ray skin or shark skin or whatever this is. And so yeah, I'm just going to be clear coating it so that it's less likely to flake in the future and kind of preserve the layer that it has right now. I've already cleaned it, so I'm ready to paint it. And like I said, I've already tested it in these two areas, and so it's good. I like the results. It doesn't look any different than it did before. It didn't affect the material. It's just a clear coat on top. So yeah, I like the results. And I did allow more than 24 hours for this to dry. So yeah, I know it's not going to go anywhere. I also worked on this section a little bit. I kind of glued this down. You can kind of see some of the super glue that I used. There was a bigger bulge there before, but I kind of wanted to at least a little bit kind of cinch it down just a little bit before I clear coat. That way there's just not a massive gap in between. Yeah, so yeah, that's where we're at right now. I will go ahead and clear coat the scabbard. I'll show you kind of how I will set that up, because I want to clear coat it all at the same time. I don't want it to be sitting on any surface so that it bubbles or kind of puddles in one area. So I'll show you how to do that, or at least how I'm doing it. But yeah, let me get started with this. All right, so what I did here is I basically suspended the scabbard in air so that I don't get any like regions where it's like super puddled up. And this will allow me good access to it. I just tied a string on two surfaces, and it's just kind of suspended midair. So I can rotate it 360 and be able to apply it evenly. But yeah, I will go ahead and start doing that. I will return with the next step, but yeah. All right, so now we've completed our sword cleaning. This is good enough for me. Again, I don't want to remove all the history of it. I just want to shine it up. It looks good to me, and it matches the scabbard mounts as well, so that is good. Now we'll reassemble the scabbard. We have to put the mounts back on. So what we have to do, so what I'll do is I will glue the drag back on, but I will not be gluing back on the hanging mounts, the throat and this little side mount. I won't be gluing these on because they kind of just stay just fine with friction, and I want to be able to remove them in the future if they need cleaning. And that's the way they were before. You can see right here that they were at some point glued because it has the shape of it, and it's kind of a messed up surface. And then this one is right here. You can kind of see the discoloration. They were glued at one point, but the glue probably died 100 years ago. So yeah, I'll just be sliding them on with friction. They should actually fit slightly better now, just because with adding a couple layers of the varnish, it should have thickened just a little bit, so it should be nice firm grip on there. But yeah, but the only part I'm going to be gluing is this bottom, because it doesn't grip on the same way. So yeah, but the good thing is that these can slide over it. So in the future, when I need to remove these two mounts, I can do so and just leave this one on, because this one is a lot easier to polish on the end right here, because I don't have to touch this stuff. But like especially this one, if it's sitting on there like this, that is really difficult to polish just sitting on right there. So yeah, I'm going to leave these just friction set on there, and yeah, I'll go ahead and glue that right now. All right, so I need to basically just fix this small part right here. If you can see that, just kind of rolled the edge right there. I just need to fix that. So to do that, I'll be using this sharpening stone. That's for knives. Basically, I'm just going to run it on the medium grit, and then I'll run it on the fine grit. Then I'll be using some oil to lubricate it, and then get that little point down. So I'll go ahead and get started. Alright, I'm pretty satisfied with that. Looks good to me. Alright, so now that we've fixed the blade tip and we are waiting on our scabbard to dry, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to fix this wobbly dish guard right here. It wobbles quite a bit now because it's been cleaned internally as well. So all the dust, debris inside the hilt itself has freed itself and it's come loose. There's only a few ways to fix that. The main one and the period correct one is to basically take this apart and repeen it. So how these swords are put together essentially is if you see on the end of here, you can see if you can see that. Not really. Sorry, but there's a different color metal on top of the peen right here. And basically that is the tang of the blade running through the hilt. And what they do is, instead of tightening a nut on the end, they basically tapped it with a hammer and kind of cinched everything together. And so to fix that, you'd have to file off the edge right here and then basically do that process again. And yes, if you do it multiple times, you will eventually run out of tang. But yeah, that's a really complicated process. I don't really have the tools or want to do that to the sword. So I'm just going to do a method I've done before. We'll see if it works for me this time, but I have my sewing kits here, and I'm going to choose a thread that kind of resembles the sword a little bit. So you can do it with any thread because it's not going to be visible, but yeah, I'm going to go with this one. Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to wrap this around one point of the hilt. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to aim to wrap it right underneath here, because it's probably not going to be seen. So yeah, otherwise I'd be doing it on the outside of that and it would be seen. So yeah, let me try to do that. All right, so I just have to thread it around here. Sorry if it's not a good view. It's not exactly easy to film this and do this at the same time, so I apologize for that. I'll try it this way. Okay, now we have our string tied in there. Basically what I'm going to do is I am going to wrap it around that inside until I am satisfied with how firm the disc is. It's already, I can already tell it's already starting to do its job. So I'm going to continue doing this, and I will be right back, and I will share the results with you. All right, guys, there is one final thing to do, and that is to finally finish assembling this. So I finished gluing the drag on the base, the end of the scabbard, and so that's all locked on there good now. Next step is going to be the main shape right here. This is for the top of the scabbard right here, where the blade goes in. So I'm just going to go ahead and feed that through. Like I said, it should be a bit tighter than it was before because I have added layers, so it should be a little bit more snug of a fit. And yes, it's good. That's a good fit. Perfect. Right there. Yeah, there we go. All right. We have this scabbard loop right here, and I will go ahead and thread that on. This is where it originally sat right here, but it was a little bit further up once I got it. But yeah, I'm not going to force it too much. Just kind of leave it sit right there. So. But yeah, this is the completed scabbard right here. I will go ahead and put the sword in, and then I'll be done. But yeah, I will show you the completed project. Hi guys, welcome back. Here we have the completed assembled Smallsword. So here we go. Here's the final result. I'll go and give you some close-ups right now. So here is the sword itself. Here's the hilt. I'll give you some details right in here. This is the chiseled kind of diamond cut steel almost hilt section. Really pretty. I don't know if you can kind of see through those holes yet. Kind of a little bit. Here's the front of the guard, the dish guard. Yeah, it's really nice looking. And here's the pommel with the peen. And then here's the blade. You probably won't be able to see it. There is a little bit of etching. You can kind of see some here. And then see some scroll work going up a little bit. It's very hard to make out, but yeah, there is some there. But there's not too much left. And yeah, here's the tip after working on it. It is pretty much back to its old self. Yeah, very happy with that. Completed sword, and then here we have the completed scabbard. This turned out really nice. I'm really happy with how it turned out. Looks really nice. Yeah, I'll show you the details. Here we have the shape. See the middle ring right here. Same floral detail. Of course, we have the shark skin or ray skin wrapped scabbard. I did fix this gap a little bit, so it's not as bad. The whole thing kind of, I don't know if you can tell, but it kind of bends a little bit. It was like that before. I'm not really too concerned about it, so yeah, I don't want to try to straighten it. It would probably crack it. And there's the end. You can kind of see the same kind of floral pattern throughout. Yeah, really nice. Turned out really nice. So yeah, I will go ahead and finally bring these two together once again after lots of work. But yeah, here we go. And there we have it. So yeah, that turned out really well. Yeah, it looks really pretty, really nice. I'm really pleased with how this turned out. And I think that this is a good sign, to me at least, that I don't have to be afraid of you know, taking care of these objects, because I think I've done a fairly good job of taking care of this one. So but I will continue to take care of it, just because touching silver kind of tarnishes it over time. I will every once in a while run some jewelry cleaner and silver polish over this to keep it nice and shiny. But yeah, really happy with how this turned out. Yeah, I'm really pleased. I will show you, however, I have these little belt hangers right here. These are they're not real antiques, but they're period replicas. I'm going to go ahead and try it on. Look at that. All right. Yeah. Sorry, it's hard to see. It's kind of not the best angle, but yeah, this is kind of what's going on. So it sits on your belt just like this. Then the sword hangs kind of at a nice angle. And yeah, I'm super excited to finally be able to enter this into my collection. I'll send you a picture of my current collection of small swords and stuff on the wall. Obviously you can see a few back here. This is for sale, by the way, if I haven't mentioned it already. Yeah, I have some court swords at the moment, and then I'm getting a few more small swords in that will be coming up for sale. But yeah, I'll send you a picture of this on my my personal collection of things I'm keeping at the moment. So but yeah, I don't intend this to leave my collection anytime soon. I worked really hard on this, and I think it turned out really nice. So yeah, I'm super pleased to have this in my collection, and I hope I can find more like these in the future. But yeah, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something. But yeah, if you didn't, I hope you at least enjoyed. So again, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next adventure, I guess. Bye, guys.